pleasure to have you here. I am currently in Sedona. What is this channel about? So this channel, while we're waiting for the chatters, we show up every day at 11 Pacific time, or at least most days, and we connect with the heart, we connect with our breath. We also kind of feel into the energy, what messages are coming through at that time, and sometimes I answer some questions for you. So, got my chopstick in place. It's beautiful here in Sedona right now. I'm at one of my favorite places called Chocolate Tree. So if you ever get to Sedona, definitely check them out. Food and different types of coffee and teas are just phenomenal. And I've chosen this as like my place yesterday and then for today's live. So yesterday we spoke a lot about the energy that was coming through. We didn't breathe yesterday, but the energy that was coming through was a very like, these are the things that we have in life. These are the things that come forward. And we kind of talked about like hiking and climbing mountains, and someone mentioning like, scrambling or getting to the next pinpoint, or like if you were going across a river, you might be very intentional with your steps as you move forward, right? It wouldn't be an unconscious thing. It would be very much your soul is leading you across when you have to get across, because your foot needs good footing. Like you need stable footing when you're going across a river and you don't want to get dumped in, right? Maybe you want to take a swim, who knows? But if the idea is for you to stay on your path and to get there in, I would say, with ease and grace, then it would be like your inner self that usually leads you. It's not generally your thinking mind. You might get some thinking mind in there when, you know, you come to a place like a crossroads and you're like, which way should I go? And you're like, huh. But if you were to feel, if you were to get to a place where you feel, which direction should I go? Not think, which direction should I go? It's a totally different exploration of your senses. And that's some of what we do on this channel. We explore our clair senses and kind of fine tune them, because we're not all used to using them. Some of us use them on a regular basis and we don't even know we're doing it. I was one of those people. I even had like different people in my life, you know, siblings that would be like, you just think you know everything. You don't know everything. And everything is a very broad term. But at the moment, at the time that something was coming up and I was communicating, I did know. I really did know kind of the easiest path to take, or maybe easiest isn't the correct word, maybe the clearest path to take that would be of less resistance, possibly less turmoil. Do I always? It depends on how present I'm being. It depends on where my presence is at that time. Am I referring to my heart or am I referring to something else? I had that go on this morning. Yesterday was a very we had a card that came up and it was called Easy Breezy Trail. And that's kind of how I felt yesterday, like very easy and breezy. I came here, I was in my bikini top, the weather was warm, I was in the sun. My live went down yesterday because it got too hot, and then I moved to the shade, which I'm at right now, and so this signal should be better for you guys. I even prepped. I made sure to close all my windows before I came on, so. But it was a very easy breezy day, and I had that energy of very ooh, just flowing from here to there. And it was kind of planned that way. I woke up and I was like, I feel like this is going to be one of those days that I used to apply in my life, where I'd have one day and I would just let my soul lead me to where I was to go. I knew one thing: I needed good drinking water, because I haven't had that as often because I don't have my truck here. I've been traveling in a different way. So someone reminded me of the fact that this restaurant, Chocolate Tree, has a natural spring on the side of it and allows people to fill up water. So I came with my jug yesterday and I filled up the water and I met with you guys, and all those energies that were coming in it was kind of an explanation of like, these things happen and here's a way to scramble or traverse or weave your way through the different things that arise in life, right? And some of the energy it's definitely continued to today in a totally different way. There was, I think it's called a chanting that came up this morning that had to do with the Cathars. And if you don't know what the Cathars are, I don't either. I've heard of the term. I feel like I've explored some video of it, but I didn't finish it, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. But the Cathars are coming in. I know that they were, I believe, like really persecuted by the Catholic Church. There was some sort of massacre, and I'm not sure if the Catholic Church was responsible or not at the time. I have to do more research. So if it seems like it's resonating, because that's what I was listening to this morning, was like a Cathar resonance. And I thought I would do this with a friend later. And I even thought, oh, maybe I'll play it in the background as a frequency for you guys today. Hi guys, great to have you here. And lovely to see all of you. Thanks for the flowers. And so I don't know much about the Cathars. I feel like it's kind of an important thing, kind of like knowledge about the Essenes is an important thing. I don't know if they were part of the Essenes or how it all occurred, but this chanting that came in this morning, I'm going to be producing something with this chanting. I'm going to read to you the words that came in this morning as I was listening. This happens often where I go and I set a timer, right? I set a timer for 11 minutes and 11 seconds because I figure that even if there's no other time in the day or if time doesn't allow, right, I have those 11 minutes and 11 seconds to get present. And it was taking longer this morning. I'll be honest, it was totally taking longer because I got into other subjects last night, subjects that really got me in the mind, very different from like how I was flowing through life during the day. I was using my mind, I was working on things, but I was mostly in the heart, the beingness, the feminine aspect. The subject matter that came up last night had to do with affidavits, lawful versus legal, certificate of no response. Like, these are all terms of living in your sovereignty, not just spiritually, but also in the physical world. There are different names for it. But I got so up in the mind, and there was so much information as I was consulting with a friend that I woke up this morning and I was in this real masculine energy. I was in this like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to take care of that. And most of your women out there are probably like, that's just part of me being feminine. That's not a masculine. And it is, it's both. But it felt so intense in my nervous system. And since we're all about feeling into our body, feeling into our nervous systems, like what's going on right now energetically within here, right? This is why I'm sharing it with you, because I could feel it going out of balance. I could feel the doing and the taking care of things. There wasn't anxiety and there wasn't stress. That was important to note, because there would have been past times where it would have been like a waking up with the pit in the stomach or something like that, right? Where it's like you forgot to study for a test, or you forgot your homework at home. One of those kind of feelings, right? An unprepared feeling. And I didn't have that at all, which means that the work I'm taking myself through is very successful. Like, it's all coming together. So I'm just kind of like proof in the pudding, guys. I'm not a coach. I'm only going to speak to you guys of things I know and lead you to other places as we get together in a community, through Zoom eventually, to those resources that can most help you in your journey. Hi guys, thanks for the compliments. Beautiful, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with the hair today. It's very blonde. I have my pink hair dye ready to go because I still really love the pinks in there when I do that. I'm just looking at the right timing to go ahead and take care of that. That might be later today, it might be tomorrow. So I'm blonde for now. I'll be blonde tomorrow, but with a little bit more pizzazz, perhaps. So, the energies that came in this morning were beautiful, so beautiful. And so I'm going to create with that chanting, that Cathor is what it is, the Cathor chanting, where I put in the foreground of the chanting and binary beats these words that came in today, because they're awakening words that channeled in as I listened to this. And this is not a shocker for you guys. If you guys have been here with me before, there are plenty of times I play frequency in the background for us to feel into, and a message pops out, right? There are words that go along with the tones and the frequency that are playing in the background. There's also a channeling, a code that happens in the words that I'm speaking right now, just telling you about these different things I've been feeling into this morning. It's all resonance, all of it. So the cards I also picked for you, they sound very much like the message that came in this morning, just naturally as I tell you, I was listening to this, I want to say it could have been 6-7 times. It was short. It was like an 11-minute thing. So I will be probably producing like a longer one that someone can listen to through sleep, because I think it's pretty valuable. There's some awakening codes within it. There's this new deck that I don't own, but it's here. It looks like this. And it's called Sacred. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this this is one of the words that came through in the channeling this morning. Sacred Revolution Oracle. But they have like R in brackets, so evolution. I know it's backwards, I apologize, but you get the point, right? Can you hear those tones? Those are beautiful. Wow. So before I get on live, oftentimes when I'm in my own space, there's a brass bowl that plays to kind of clear the energy. It could be by me physically clearing the energy. Can you hear the tones? Or it could be by like my ring just kind of hitting the bowl as I get things ready before I get onto my live. It could be something else hits that bowl and there's a tone. There's something behind that, behind clearing the energy, setting the space, creating a sacred space. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, sacred space with water. You just got goosebumps. What does that mean? Thanks for the earrings. There's an artist here in Sedona that makes these earrings. I'll be sure to put that artist in the details below. I need to start taking notes about these things, I promise you guys, for links. But do check out the replays. A lot of the time I do put significant links down below. Could be something I mentioned just briefly. Could be a fun song I find or a story. I do that too. Did any of you listen to the story I posted yesterday? That was earlier. It was a children's story, but it was meant to connect you with your inner child. So usually goosebumps mean, it means like it's right on track for you. Like whatever I'm saying is resonating so much that sometimes people will get goosebumps over the trueness of it. I think it's a trueness thing. I tend not to get goosebumps as much as I feel it like a lightness in my heart. But yeah, it's one of your clair senses. It's like your spidey sense. You get a little bit of tingle on your arms or your legs or up your back, and you're like, woo, that just gave me chills. I hear so many people talk about that in the energetic community. I'm not sure which part gave you chills, but if you want to explain further, that would be nice to hear which part gave you chills. The messages that are coming through today, back to those, they're all they seem so eloquent. Even the cards that I chose for you today. The fact that this says Sacred Revolution with Evolution Oracle, those words came out in the channeled message this morning. The frequency hertz, 741. 741 is a common one that ends up in the background of most of our lives. I would like to put it on, but for some reason my phone has signal, but my laptop does not. And I don't know why, because the hotspot's linked. It works other places. I'm not sure why it doesn't work here. So we'll have to listen to the frequency of the chimes that play by the wind. Tingling, great. So something's resonating with you guys. There must be something important. Yesterday's message, I was very much coming in with the energy of, these are the things that come up. This is how we traverse it. This is how we get through it. And this might happen, but this is how we respond versus react. This is how we act in consciousness versus unconsciousness. Someone mentioned, like, so what do we do? Just like, are we all just fucking around? And there I go, swearing again. It almost never happens. Make a note of that. And I was like, yeah, we kind of are for the most part of our lives. Like those beginning parts, we're in this space where we're in this dream, we're in this illusion, and we're not living the dream. There's a quote, we're living the dream. You know when you're living the dream? It's when you're living life intentionally. It's when you're improving that which is not helpful for you. And you know it hasn't been helpful. And you think about changing it, right? You think about, oh, I shouldn't do that, I should do this. Maybe stop shitting on yourself. Take out the shoulds and the have tos and just replace it with I could. I could go a different way to work. I could decide to eat something crunchy that is healthier for me. And then I could always go back to what I would normally pick to eat, be it chips or some other processed food that I absolutely love, and go that route. But maybe I won't eat as much of it, and therefore I will be a little healthier because I didn't eat it like it was a meal, because I already had this healthy thing that was crunchy, right? Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's a 32 ounce. Maybe it's a 32 ounce beer. It's true. Agape love, the highest level of God's love. Agape. Agape. Is that, I'm trying to remember, is that like carpe diem, seize the moment? Hello, Bela. Nice to have you here. Hey, Stephen. So some of these words that are coming up, when I said the dream, we're living a dream and we're slowly waking up, or we're waking up really quickly. It just kind of depends on what you wrote up as your contract of this game of life here on Earth. So that is also in the transmission that came through this morning. I'm just trying to feel in, do I read you guys the transmission that came in this morning? Or do I read some of the cards that I pulled? Oh, never-ending love, agape. I love that. Never-ending. Infinite. Finite. Just feel into that for a moment. Never-ending love. That is part of the message that came in this morning, guys. Never-ending love. The finite, the infinite, the infinity symbol. It goes on and on and on and on. It's like the Energizer Bunny, man. Love just goes on. True love. What is true love? divine love, not necessarily human love, although there are ones that find that soul, that compatible soul, where they're able to play. They're able to kind of play off of each other in balance and with very healthy communication. True love never dies. I say my dream is true. I love that. Hold that, yes. That the trueness of love never dies. When love is true, a person can feel it with more than just their bodily reactions. It's more than just a quickening of the heart. The sooner that we know that love expands even our definitions of love. Some of the transmission that I will read to you guys talks of this. And I'll let you know kind of what the pictures were that were coming in, like the sense of what was coming in during that transmission. Am I in love? I am in love. I am love. I am in love, in my body, loving life, loving myself. And when you're truly like in here, then that same comparable aspect also comes into your life, possibly in the physical, right? Where you have that co-partner in life. Love is not fundamental. Peace is fundamental. It's an interesting concept. Let me feel into that. I would say, or rather like my heart would say, when I tap into that, what you're saying, fundamental, I'm curious about that word. But what comes in is that basically in this world of duality, we have love and we have fear. Peace is a part of the root of love. There cannot be peace without love's existence. That's a little bit of what comes through. The fundamentals, let me feel into that. I think you're correct. And I think it's and both. In the fundamentals of life, it is important to have peace, love, joy, play, safety. These are our birthrights. Abundance is your birthright. Peace is your birthright. Love is your birthright. This is the birthright of all, no matter what role they play here on the earth, whether it be a role that's considered good or bad. We are the fundamentals of these things. Thank you for the compliments, guys. I think that I need to possibly listen to toning more often in the morning. Not need to, but can, because it kind of sets the day. I didn't do that yesterday. It was a very different morning. And some great things came out in yesterday's live, which will be available after this. And as I put in the description and everything else. All right, so this makes sense to you guys. Take a moment and let's just kind of center in with some breath. There are some messages that have come through for all of you that have shown up here today, whether you're here live or on the replay. And there were 3 cards. There's one way in which I choose a message, and that is to simply open the book to a certain spot. So you will not see the card for that one. I will simply read the story, or not read the story, but tell you what that card means. And I will read you the transmission that's going to be made into a recording. It's going to go into a recording. Just going to check out the comments real quick. I'm going to just adjust here. You subscribed and are loving the feelings and relax. Really want to add love on, like I say, I'm doing the best. So I think you're asking people to subscribe, like the videos to be able to have even more people join us. I think that's what you're saying. Oh, what a nice prayer to encounter Jesus. I actually have had some quite encounters with Jesus. There was a couple lives ago where the energy of Yeshua actually came in, like through the words, through the frequency, like I'm speaking of. Like I've put frequencies in the background for you guys to turn into the senses of your body. This is what Yeshua, also known as Jesus, and his merry men and women, the disciples, practiced. This was part of what was taught to the disciples. It was to tune into that God particle, that heart center, and to lead life in the way of the heart. And yeah, I think I think it actually says Yeshua, or it might say Jesus. The reason I know that it was a very clear message was because the words coming out wanted to say Jesus, and the human part of me wanted to stick to the word Yeshua. And that's only because there's some people that might not want to they hear the name Jesus and they're like, oh my gosh, it's religious. And these ascended masters that we have access to on a regular basis and who we've had access to over time, Yeshua being one, Jesus, his mother, Mary Anna, his grandmother, Anna, the Magdalens, the White Brotherhood. These are all part of the movement that the way of the heart took place in that time of Jesus. And the Christed consciousness. Christed consciousness, not many people know this, but the many ascended masters that have been, the Christed consciousness is part of all of it. Christed consciousness is part of each one of us, whether you're in a religion, whether you call that being God, source, energy, it's all one. It's all part of each other. I'm gonna move this a little bit. Let's see. I'm getting some extra sun. Let me see where I can move this. Give me a moment, guys. I might have to adjust a little bit so that the live doesn't get interrupted. Hold on. I'm gonna prop you guys up. Hold on for just one moment while I readjust my shade. Almost there. Oops. Okay. My chair's a little uneven, but if it's all right. I didn't want the phone to get hot like it did yesterday and then pop me off of here with you guys. So real quick, before we continue, do you want to go on a tour with me? Do you want to see some of this place? Yeah, real me. Everybody's got their different perspective on God or what the Creator is. Do you guys want a little bit of a tour? Yeah? Okay. Matthew says yes, so we're doing it. So this place is called Chocolate Tree. And I'm just gonna take it off me and I'm gonna show you guys. Here are the tones that you were hearing. And there's this path in this beautiful garden that you can walk through. Here's some more tones for you. Here's a tree that's flowering. There were some rainbow codes coming off of this yesterday. And then here's some shells. So I'm just gonna kind of take you through.
I was just going through ahead of you.
They often have music that plays here on certain days. It's really a very special place. I'm just gonna keep my voice down because people are eating. I actually brought, this is a lingam. I actually brought my own lingam as part of my class here to create a ceremony around it. This is generally where they play music. You know what I'd like to do, guys? I'd like to have one day where I'm actually at this place called the Stupa. And you guys can look up the Stupa in Sedona and find some background history on it. But it's a sacred place of Tibetan scrolls are there, I believe. And people go and they say a prayer and then they spin the scrolls. These, I think they're made out of brass. All right. I might be a little askew, but you guys are used to that, right? All right, cool. So that's a little bit of Chocolate Tree. Let's take a breath, and I'm going to read you the message that was channeled first, and then you can see how that correlates with the cards that came through. How about that? Agreed? Cheers. Okay. Take a moment. Hand on your heart if you can. Hand on the belly, just below the navel. And I want you to breathe in and let that belly fill that hand. Fill that hand and just breathe into that belly. Let it rise and fall, just a natural breath for now. Okay. Breathe. Fill the belly. Maybe stick your finger in your belly button. How often do we do that these days? Have a little fun. Breathe in. And release. Just kind of tune into your body. Where are you today? Is there any tension happening? Do you feel any resistance in your body? Just breathe into that area as well. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe you want to make it audible, like a nice sigh, like right? Like, just had a really great soda and or as that person mentioned, a really great beer, right? Those days are far gone from me, guys, but whatever floats your boat, right? Breathe in and then release. Just feel. Breathe. Notice. Create an intimacy with you. We were just talking about love and true love. This is your intimate time with you. We know of a lot of intimate times, right? This is your intimate time with your soul, your God self. All that is you. This is your time. Breathe in and breathe out. Connecting at the top of your head, seeing a type of golden light come through the crown of your head and just encompassing you like a waterfall of golden light, lighting up your eyes, your ears, your lips, your throat, your heart, shoulders, arms, fingertips, the center of your palms, allowing that energy to flow back up to your shoulders and travel down the spine, the front and back of the spine, radiating this golden light. Down further, down into the root, the perineum, breathing into the perineum, into those sexual organs. This is allowing for all of us to get a sense of a different type of intimacy. Into me, you see. Intimacy. That is what we are having now with each other, with our own bodies, all individually in our own energetic fields, and yet all as one. One heart, one light, one love. We are both the creation and the creator. I'll say that again. We are both the creation and the creator, aspects of in human form. Feel this intimacy with your body. We are meant to stay within the body. Our emotions often take us outside our bodies. We are being asked to pay attention to those emotions that arise and find our way back into the heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, continue breathing. I'm going to read the transmission that came in this morning that I wrote down. Continue to breathe and just feel. Feel into the message itself. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Here we go. I close my eyes and I see. I am you. Come, sit with us. We have much to say. It is the heart we see. In times of old, there has been much struggle. dark times that are now being revealed. The light is shining, Christos within you. I am you. We are one light, one love. We come to speak of hope, of a new time, a time of love, a work of love, a work of light beyond your imagining, created within the heart. We call to you. Your heart calls. Will you answer the call? Will you crack open the heart space for a revolution of evolution, a reawakening of cell crystals? I close my eyes and I see. I feel. I remember. I remember a time of light, a time when all was led by the heart, a time before separation, a time at the seed core of consciousness. I remember. I remember. I know. I remember the lightness of creation, a connection to the elements and the elementals, the waters, the land, the plants, all life, one breath, joined, all. One breath, joined, all. You are that one breath. You are the bridge. Will you answer the call? It is time. It is time to gather yourselves. Bring yourselves together as one, individual and as whole, all as whole. Together, stand firm in your hearts. Hear the call. Open. Soften. See the world through these eyes anew, through the ears anew, through your voice anew. You are new. Reclaim your birthright now. Hear the call of the soul of creation through the heart, through every breath, through every smile, through every gaze. Hear the call now. Remember who you are. It is time. Breathe. Feel. Listen. Remember who you are. You are we. We are you. Stepping out of the dream, the illusions, strangers seen as friend, resonance guiding the mind, all provided for a coming, a becoming of humanity. Step in. All are chosen. All hear the call. Answer. Hello. Weaving a new tapestry. Hello. You are here to answer the call. Your soul calls. Hello. Creation calls of oneness. Strangers no more. Allies. Confidants. Collaborators. In the greatest show on earth. You are new. New you. New earth. Join us. I am you. You are we. One family, one earth, one light, shining bright. End of transmission. I haven't had something quite like this come through before. All the messages are very similar, of love, of what to bring forth within yourselves. So I wanted to explain that a little bit, because it can be interpreted in different ways. But what came through, what I was feeling when the message came through, was I was getting a sense of many different selves. When we're out in life and we have different emotions come up, there are aspects of ourselves that get left behind or can be wounded. You can almost see it as, and you can pay attention to this in your day, pay attention to the range of emotions as they arrive in today or tomorrow or over the weekend. Take a note of when you're experiencing an emotion. Sometimes the easiest way, unfortunately, is to take a note of an uncomfortable emotion, because what it talks about when we have these different selves and cells. So the selves and the cells, they're all working together as one. When there's a wounding that happens in our life, we feel like we're not being heard or seen, something occurring. We tend to leave an energetic self behind. It's almost like we walk away from the experience if we don't acknowledge it in some way, or find restitution is not the right word. If we don't, I'm looking at too many legal things right now. If we don't find that balance, that closure within the experience that happens, we can leave a part of ourselves behind and keep going on with life. I mean, we do this a lot of time when we unconsciously, our thought goes somewhere and we're still driving the car, right? So that happens as little aspects of ourselves. This happens throughout our whole lifetime. And there are meditations on calling back, what would be the search? Calling back soul fragments or soul fractals would be a search for you to look at on YouTube. And when they speak of us gathering ourselves, that is part of what that term self-mastery talks about. The gathering of the selves, merging who you were, who you thought you were, who you strive to be, who you are now, your authenticity, the authenticity that is you. Merging those, not judging that which you were or where you've been or how you see things now, but merging those is the self-mastery. It's the self-realization. It's the self-initiation through your free will and divine will combined as one. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense to some of you. I'm going to turn you this way so that I can see your comments. So some of the message, it is gather yourselves, gather in community. I was at a networking business concierge event last night, and I almost didn't get up and tell them what I have to bring forth to people, for them to let others know. When people come visit Sedona, and they want to see vortex tours and they want to do yoga on the land, to connect with the land. And the person was about to hand me the microphone. I think that she could totally sense that I wanted to say something, and I shook my head and I was like, no, because I wasn't technically part of the event. I was helping set up the event. And after I said no, I was like, why did I do that? I can totally get up and tell everyone what I have to offer for people that are in Sedona or that are visiting Sedona. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to close my laptop. It was like one of those old old things still arise, even for me. It wasn't like I felt insecure at the time, but I decided to tell myself a story that I wasn't part of that group technically, so that I shouldn't speak. And that was so untrue. The bartender that was supplying like cacao and all these tasty drinks got up and started speaking about some of the things he's had ideas for. And after he did, I was like, there you go, brain, mind. He's totally doing it, so you can get up there too, love, and tell people your 1 minute of fame, what you have to offer people. But, in that moment, like an aspect of me left me, right? And even while I was talking on, with the microphone, I felt like it was rushed. I had a minute to speak. I wasn't really prepared to speak. Usually when I tell people a service that I provide, it's a lot slower that I'm speaking, so they can really get the impact of how it works with the connection of the heart and how it leaves space for epiphanies to arise when they have, say, conscious cuts with me in sessions. I'm just checking out the comments real quick. Hello, Tibet. Nice to have you here. Thanks for the compliments, guys. All right, we have a lot of people here today. So notice in your day how often there are like little soul aspects of yourself left behind, possibly. We do this kind of like without even knowing it. Some of this, if you believe in past lives, that would be linked to that as well. Like there might be aspects of you. You could be afraid of water and you have no idea why, but possibly there was another life aspect of you that drowned. And these are things you would never know about unless you actually talk to an intuitive person that actually had that gift to be able to, they call it hypnosis regression, I think. And there's also quantum hypnosis that allows you to get in touch with different aspects of yourself and your highest, what they call your highest divine self. That is some of what they were speaking of in the message that I read to you guys. To gather yourselves, to basically to pay attention to your self-mastery. How can you live in more of your God quality, your God self from the heart? That universal consciousness, the idea of unity consciousness, collaboration, friendship, family. What would it be like if you went out in the world today and each person that passed you, you simply in your mind smiled, you smile outwardly, but then in your mind you say family. Family. To each person you pass, you go to the coffee barista, and in your mind, as they're getting your coffee ready, you say family. You could say beautiful soul. This is all connecting with the soul. This is all connecting to the heart. If there's someone that is irritating you, you can look at them and say family. Right? We can kind of associate with that. We all have family that can kind of irritate us or get under the skin, right? So it kind of works to be able to look at others, even strangers. What if you were walking past someone that was sleeping on the street? Could you, instead of passing by and not look at them and think family? How does that change the heart space? of what you see before you when you see them as family, when you implement the heart. Try it. And if some of you have different experiences, maybe you can comment on the recorded lives. That would be great to see what experience you're having. Man, there's a lot of sun right here. Oh, I'm getting a bit roasted, guys. Someone loves their family, their wife, and their kids. Awesome. Yes, family. How do we go beyond the separation of you and I, of him and her, of this and that, tit for tat? How do we go beyond and bring our heart, that heart consciousness to the world? It starts with our individual lives. All right, we're nearing on an hour, guys. I am going to pull those cards for you. It's very poetic. It's very much like the message that came through this morning. The card that come in as we're talking about family is partnership. And the message of the card is, I am the one who is holy partnership, the union of souls coming together to ignite their fullest potential in sacred space, to vision and dream new worlds into being together with play, joy, and passion. Together, we are birthing new worlds and purifying our hearts with the diamond light frequency of pure multi-dimensional love. We are illuminating the world with our holy love in sacred sexual union, sacred intimate union, and sacred divine union. The lava of our passion flows out into the world to create and build new lands. When we come together, there is an alchemical crucible that transforms us into something holy and new. I love how they use the word holy. Two meanings, two words put together, spelled WHOLLY. Two parts coming together for transmutation. We build deep trust and intimacy by speaking our truth, even when it's uncomfortable. We shine forth into the world with the magnificence and the radiance so that we may come to even deeper layers of intimacy. Into me you see. Inner knowing, connection. We are bearing our souls raw and exposed to show the truth of who we are, so that we can burst forth into even greater capacity to love and be in our fullest magic of union. We lift each other up with non-attachment to the highest heights of our expansion and limitless potential. Together in union. Soul union. That can be a soul union with another person. That can be a soul union with you. As someone asked here, am I in love? Yes, I am in love. Completely. So, there's many other things here. It's a really amazing deck. So, check it out if you get a chance. It says on the front, it says, enter the mystery of the Sacred Revolution Oracle by Lainey Love Dalby. Sacred Revolution Oracle. The other cards that came in, let me see if they're here. Otherwise, it'll be just those that I let you guys know about. Do you see how it goes along with the channel message that came in this morning? I was like, wow. It's great confirmation to know you're right on point and you're not just like a crazy person over here spewing words, right? It's great to have the confirmation. So this card came in, and again, this came in my networking, not my networking group, but like the one I was able to attend that I wasn't a part of, but yet I was a part of it. I became part of it. The card that came in is Web Walker. And it's part of my conversation with others because with my website, I got to talk to different collaborators. I met another person that is a death doula, someone that helps someone transition from life in their physical body through their death. Who's also a psychologist or psychiatrist. Like, she's got a professional background as well, but she's bringing consciousness into her practice. And so I was like, I want to put you on one of my pages for Sedona. Maybe I have pages that have to do with different sites. And then if you're in that state or if you're visiting that state, then you can contact that person and receive whatever they have to offer. And just create a web. That's where the web came in. Create a web of collaborators. Because it's no longer about doing things on our own or thinking that there's not enough or I have this niche, so it's all mine and nobody else can, participate it or have something similar. We are here to work together. It is time to collaborate. It is time to befriend people. We are not alone. That's come up recently too. The song. We are not alone. Michael Jackson. I am not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far away, I am here to stay. Another day has passed. Look up that song. If I could play right now, I would. When we meet live on our Zooms, I'm totally going to be playing the songs that come in for us to just feel into or dance to. I'm really excited for that time. So excited. And I'll be working on my website today because it's not going to be super fancy, guys. There's a lot of pages that are just going to say coming soon. And I'll have some basic, about me, which seems rather long. I don't know how that got long because it started off super short. And then, the memberships and the ability to put in your email, subscribe with an email so that you guys know when I'm doing random lives, because I kind of like to do that sometimes, especially if I'm traveling and you guys get to connect with the land. So here we go. Web Walker. I am the one who is billions of years old, an old soul, woven into a vast tapestry of light in creation, existing before time, weaving time itself. I am the one who births worlds of wonder out of death and decay. I am the one who creates and generates and sustains new life, forming through the infinite ebbing and flowing of waves of evolution. I am weaving a vast tapestry of light all around the globe, just under your feet, with my multi-dimensional mycelium, with the same intricate network designed as the internet, connecting us all as one heart. I am ancient and wise and all-knowing. I am simultaneously minuscule and vast. I am the thinnest filament and the widest expanse of the web. My words weave spells across galaxies. My vibrations pulse out across the we field, communicating to all other species my immense capacity for love and life and protecting the cosmos. I expand out indefinitely with my web of light, like all new beginnings, like constellations of stars in the night sky sparkling shamelessly. I am incomprehensible. I am the key holder to all new beginnings. I am the portal holder to the vastness of life. I weave my webs of magic all around the world as a great act of love and healing for all. Wow, that's beautiful. See, here we're talking about weaving again. We're talking about the world of birth, wonder, death, decay, creation, regenerating new life, and weaving a tapestry of light all around the globe. See what I mean about the oneness? That's going to be the first book, by the way. The tier where I'm going to be, the memberships where I'm going to be reading to people, there's a first book called Sunat Kamara. And so if you want, you can read it on your own. You can read it along with me when we actually pick that book of the month. Or you can just kick back and enjoy like a kid just hearing a story for the first time. It's all about the oneness. The third card, so I'll show you the weaving of the web card, is this one right here, weaving of the web. And they just kind of put different symbols in there. Kind of neat. I've never actually seen an oracle deck that has circular cards. And there's some beautiful sacred geometry. Let's see, can you see that? In gold on the back. Take a breath into the sacred geometry. So some of these symbols I recognize have to do with the elements. I've also seen some of these symbols. A friend had a book of the Kabbalion. So if you want to know what that is, look that up. There are tools, ways of living, ways to create balance within your life as you live. Amazing. Okay, we have one more card, guys. And looked like a very serious card, but it came in. We have the snake, which has to do with shedding old ways, shedding that skin behind that's not needed. We've got the seeing with new eyes, possibly a third eye opening. And the pyramid, the codes from the pyramid. Think Egypt, think vortex energy centers, not tombs, but generators of lights. Symbols of new life. Yeah, exactly. So, visionary and third eye. Here we go. I am the one who sees beyond sight, who sees beyond the veils of brainwashing and mass consciousness as a visionary transporter. I am the one who sees the future that is not yet here and can hold it fiercely with intention, sensory perception, sensory details in every cell of my being. I see what is possible and I move towards that each day with all my actions. I am the one who transports us into new realms, new worlds, and new earth. I am the one who pierces the veil of illusion and Maya to show you the ferocity of truth that lies beyond. I am the knowing beyond all knowing. I am the vision beyond all sight. I am the piercing light beyond comprehension. I am blinding in my radiance and awakening. With the gentleness and grace of the dove, I soar into new life. I am birthing new paradigms out of my belly, an energetic womb. I am a way shower of a new way. a way forward to ignite the love and reverence of our bodies, the earth, and each other, and the web of all life. There we go with the web again. So, holy moly, everything's like right on point this morning. I'm just astounded. I love this oracle deck. I've never thought of actually creating an oracle deck like this, which seems to be all transmissions, like the first one I read to you that came in for me this morning. So that's an idea for me, to do a book with all the transmissions that come through. I guess I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to need someone to transcribe for me, you know? Someone to go back in my videos and transcribe the channelings so that I can put them into a book. Let me know if you have extra time on your hands, if anybody wants to help me with that. It's not an easy thing for me to go back and listen to my own videos. I do a little bit so that I can get something in the description and to be able to provide the links that I tend to kind of promise you guys while I'm on here. Yeah, if that interests anybody who watches this live or on the replay, that you want to go back through. I don't have a ton of videos, but I have been doing a lot of lives since like September of last year, I think. So I did get smart, by the way, and I did start putting in links for just the point where we breathe together. Because sometimes you guys might not want to listen to my jibber jabber, and you just might want to re-listen to the breath and the transmission that came forward. Am I going to write a book? I've had a feeling that there's been a book within me for quite some time that wants to come out. I had someone in Sedona ask, because I felt like I wanted to write a children's book, mostly because I thought fun. How would it be fun? Well, fun for me would be to write a children's book. Maybe, but I also this thing came in about a book for adults that is childlike and fun. So we'll see what comes about. I'm sure there'll be a book eventually. There will be a book. I just have to decide what I want to write about, right? And once I decide, then it just flows, then it's just going to happen. Am I ready for that? Right? Someone asked me the last time I was in Sedona, they're like, oh, what would you write about? And I was like, I kind of paused and I looked at him and I was like, if I start that, then I actually have to write the book. Then there's this whole process of editing. So this is where the mind goes, right? There's the process of the work behind what it takes to write a book. It's much easier these days. Lots of people are writing books. I see that. In fact, my co-host that I go live with, I will be live with this Friday on @humankind.com. If you go to that, there'll be a live podcast. I can't say I get much. You won't see, I don't know that you'll see much of what you see here. There is a time at the end where I do breathe with everyone and a message does come through. They're trying to set up like a structure, they want structure for their lives, which is an okay thing. Structure's okay, but I'm used to also kind of flowing a little bit more with the subject matter that comes up. So it's only the third live. We'll see how it goes. We're going to talk about some things to change or shift around today. We're going to have a meeting this afternoon. I'm also not used to meetings where nobody really says what they really mean. They do, but they don't, and they kind of beat around the bush to not hurt feelings. And it's strange. I kind of just want to say it how it is. Like, this is what I'm liking, this is what I'm not liking. This is how I felt after the last live. How's everybody else feel? And just see what happens. And I think that's what I'm going to do. You guys are helping me have the courage to use my voice in a different way. Yeah, all of this is great for future generations. If you have good knowledge on spiritualism, then you can write many beautiful books like Promoting Love and Compassion. Yes. Yes. And even I have a lot of information that spiritual wise that has come to me in the last years. And when I think about that, it's a wonderful thing to have this knowledge base. Some of it I remember, some of it, that's why I mention different things to you. So if they resonate, you can look it up on your own and do your own research. As always, anything I talk about, do your own research, feel into it. Leave behind what doesn't work for you. Use what does, utilize it in how you can bring love to yourself, your family, how we can create an energy of unity instead of separation. That's what's the most important right now. Getting in touch with the heart. There cannot be separation when people are living from the heart. It's just not possible. Just like it's not possible to have a God that is, and some people might disagree, but that idea of God that is a punisher. Punishment is not part of love. We see that physically in our communities now. We see that now in our communities because we see that children are not being beat as regular discipline anymore. Part of that was part of the Bible. It was misinterpreted or put in at a later date because that's also a truth that's out there. So tap into the heart, tap into the love. Try to see people for more than what meets the eye when you're out in your world. Strange thing, right? My throat wants to close up. I think it's because many years, growing up in a religion, they never used the word blasphemy where I was, because I was part of the the JW experience. But there would be something about discipline. And what about all these different things in the Bible? Well, there's a lot of new information that has been found that was taken out. So if that interests you, check that information out as well. It's a big rabbit hole you guys can get yourself into. I'm all about following the way of the heart. And that is done in many different ways. So I love you. I will talk to you guys soon. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Yes, I will be on live tomorrow at 11:11 Pacific time. Live with love. Sending you love now. I love you. Thank you for showing up for you, for me, for this community. I look forward to many adventures with you guys. And so excited. Can't even tell you how excited I am about what's to come. There's something big coming. There's something brewing. I can feel it. There are lots of things changing out in the world. Keep the heart, keep the faith, keep the hope. Feel and be present. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourselves, the stories you hear. Advisement not to watch the news anymore or find a pure form of news. It's out there. And love yourself. Self-care. Yes, exactly. Happy and healthy. Exactly. Blessings to you all. As always, we are one. One heart, one light, one breath. Think about that. One breath, as the transmission said. A time where everything breathed into creation, where everything breathed as one. As you are, we are, I am. We are one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ooh, this is beautiful. I'm gonna have some music now. I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe I'll video. Yeah, I'll film that and